Alright guys, just because it's raining don't mean we can be sitting still. We gotta get these covers off this boom. Like I said in my intro, this truck here and this boom is going to replace this truck. But I do like that truck. That truck is nice. I love the auto. I love that it's a short little truck. I just wish the boom was longer. The remote works great on it. It is a slick little truck to run. So what do we have here? Okay, so this line is trashed. I have to buy it. I think it's 350 bucks just for this line, which it does run all the way back, all the way up. Wow, it's kinked there even. Back to this main knuckle right here. So got to replace it because it's busted. These I think I can flex down. This one is, hopefully there you guys can see, this one is flexed, bent way up, kind of mangled. Actually, let me double check there. Shit, nope, it is kinked right there. Let's see if you can see, it's kinked right there. I gotta replace it. Crap, I was hoping to not replace that one, but if you look down on this back side, it's kinked. So yep, I'll have $700 just in 2 new lines. These are bowed up real bad. They don't look kinked. That line might need replaced, but it's a little shorty. The others are probably okay. I probably will replace this line. I gotta take this whole tray off and fix it. So, all right, I'm gonna see about getting this line out of here. All right, I don't have a great place to put you guys, and I spent the last hour looking for the camera. So that was a great waste of time. I gotta get something a little bit done. Horrible design. Okay, let's see if I can take this socket and kind of finagle this tube down a little bit. If I can get anything in there. There we go. Just a little, not much. Okay, so I can get these other two lines off. I ain't gonna bore you guys with that. Okay, this has been a heck of a fight because these are all jammed in here together. Well, there goes the camera. Let them get rid of a little bit of hydraulic fluid that's left in them. See if we can't roll them back here. A couple of these are definitely kinked up pretty badly, so we'll probably get rid of them and replace them. Nothing special, JIC fittings it looks like. I did use the had to use the channel, the crescent wrench to drag this down a lot more. I think it's got that whole tray flexed down. That's why I'd end up catching these. We'll pull the tray, fix this in the press. I'm gonna press it flat best I can, and then when I put this back together, I'm gonna shove this up further. Try to flex it a little bit, I think. All right, let's get you out of the way before you get ripped down. All right, guys, back at it today. Got the lines unhooked, making messes. Can't take it all the way off because it'll fall on me. I'm gonna pop them loose. Get a chain on it. We'll just lift her up off out of here. Fifteen 16 socket and him back. That's slick. Got oil everywhere. Tried to catch as much as I could. Fittings come right out of here to go to that cylinder. It's just tough to get to. Got them capped as quick as I could, but it didn't seem to help a whole lot. Alright, she's trying to rotate on me. Get her chain wrapped around here and our skid steer. And of course, it's starting to rain. Alright, I got the crane lifted up just a little bit. moving crane up off this thing. Okay guys, we are going to try and turn this bender into a tubing bender. I've got some stainless tubing I want to try to bend on this thing. So let's get it mounted in the floor, and then we'll get over on the lathe and cut one of these dies down. Alright, did a little vacuuming, cleaned out the holes. I'm not putting anything in there. That's probably deep enough. For what we're going to be doing. Got one that don't quite fit. This one here, I put at a little bit of an angle. So close. How did I mess that up? I guess we have a three-legged stool. There. Maybe drill a hole beside it at some point. I don't know what that was. Oh, something next to me. Okay, we're going to make our own die. Got this big chunk of aluminum laying around. So it will fit right in here. Got my mark scribed. Where I'm going to cut it. Where I'm going to drill it. Let's go cutter and driller and get this one chucked in the lathe. If I can get it back out. Easier said than done. Stuff's been sitting here rusting for a while. Karate chop. Alright, I had to get some spindle oil in there. Now let's see if she'll eat. Alright, go 5/8 from 1/2 inch. Started with 1/2 inch, finished with 5/8. Probably in the way. Okay, while the bandsaw's over there cutting, I need to get the other part of the die checked up in this forge jaw and centered in. See if we can get started on that. Okay, let's see if we can get you guys zoomed in here. Finally got her. Took me about 5 minutes. I know I'm horrible. Had my brain was wrong. I kept saying that was farther. I meant that was actually getting closer. Okay, now I hope this little tool here is sharp enough to cut the steel. Hopefully that steel is not hardened. We're about to find out though. Nothing where center line is. Looks good. Let's see. Oh yeah, she's gonna cut. Get a better view. Kind of lopsided too. Wait, half inch. 2 inches. Now we're good. That's not on. We're in. Alright, I know, I probably shouldn't try to use an end mill on the drill chuck, but we're going to give it a go, see what happens. Can we cut or just ride up? I guess that's a good way to cut a tapered slot. The ball mill. Alright, set our dies together. See if the tube will slide through. Hold 10 feet of tube here. There we go. Get it lined down there. There we go. A little hard to steady 10 feet of tube. Everything looks good. Get to bending. Okay, let's see if we can't shove this thing in here far enough to it's a tight fit. Alrighty, move a little further. I got a pretty good guesstimate how far I need to go. Whether it be long and too short. Moment of truth. Let's see here. Cutting fluid. Ah, that is not how I figured that would go. It's actually dragging this thing through there. Figured that would hold it stationary and this would just wrap it, but it's actually dragging this tube through. All right, I gotta rig up a rope to keep my back of my tube steady. Okay. Keep going, I guess. See what happens. We might just bend us or break us a tube here. That is not what I had expected would happen. Get you guys off the mag base here. But not bad, really. I guess that's so tight it won't slide. But I don't know that it's really a problem. Let's see. See if we can break this thing down now. Or should I bend it a little more? Of course, everything's so rusty. I haven't used this thing. And this one's tight in this aluminum block. There we go. 90-degree U. Goodness, I got too much stuff in here. Nearly perfectly straight in line. Not quite, close. That's just because I started bending and then I started unbending. Or not unbending, but I backed off of it so it rolled a little bit on me. So, not bad. Now the question is, can I flare this stuff? Which to do that, I'm gonna have to buy a flaring tool, which I don't have, but I guess I could get off my butt and order one now. Goodness, these magnets are tough. I don't know, that looks pretty good to me. That is a pretty good U. And it's tighter than most of the benders will do that are commercially available. So this is 060, I believe. It's a pretty thick walled tube. It's the thicker of the wall. I can't remember if it's 35 or 60, but yeah, we're just a little out of true there, but I think I can force that down. So, not bad. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Even though my die didn't work as designed, I'll probably polish on a little bit, at least on the aluminum part. If I smooth that up, maybe it'll slide and widen it out just a fudge. I don't know. Might have to put it back in the mill and just run a real slow pass and smooth it up because it looks kind of rough. Yeah, almost serrated feeling. Whoops, that works too, dragging it through. I'm not opposed to that. All right, on to the next thing. See if I got to get a flaring tool now. Okay, I did a little more bending. So there's the end. This is the other end. I need this straightened out. It, let's see here. There we go. Okay, I did a little more bending. This is pretty good. I needed this radius right here down here further, and my square die that I made just wouldn't do it. So I'm actually going to try to flatten this out some and pull this radius down. I might end up scrapping this too, but we'll see. Okay, this is probably going to be a small unmitigated disaster, but we're going to give it a try. I'm going to try not to be in the way. I'm in the way, aren't I? Okay. Just so happens that's just at about the right height. Let's put our camera down here. There we go. Get you guys a view. I'm on the back side here, which isn't great. I think we can make it work. progress. The aluminum does not like it, but it is working. To my surprise. A little bit of a bend right here I would like to take out. The little manual pulling. That's pretty good. Huh? Okay. Okay. So I've got this and I've got this. And I just need to bend until it lines up. Eyeball. That looks a lot better. It definitely looks tighter than it was. Okay. On the last one, this was a good bit longer and stuck out further. So now I've shortened it up. A little bit of bulge there, but I think we can deal with that. Let me see here. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's go see how it looks on the truck. Okay, I've just got it set in. I still need to flare this end. These are all about lined up. Need to get these hoses out and get them replaced still. My problem was this is the inside most tube, and before my bend was too long and I was hitting up here, so I shortened it up. Now I've got it bent just right. It'll sit in that clip. I'm gonna cut this line right here. Cut this one here and seam them together with a union. And that will be one line fixed. So I'll flare this and I'll have to flare this. So I'll have to take this loose enough to get it flared to 30 out of one clip up there. Pop that clip, pop this clip. And I think I can pry it out enough to flare it. And we'll have one down, and I'm confident enough now I'll buy me another piece of tubing. Another piece of stainless, another $100, and we'll get this third line bent. Now actually, and this was about how long my bend was on this first bend. So I'll actually bend this one with my square die again. That'll give me the right length here for this tube. So it'll all work out, hopefully. Well, I was pretty sure this was 1/2 inch tube. This is like probably 12mm tube because the collar actually goes over the bends. So you can see a little bit of space there. Not great, but we're still gonna try and make it work. Okay, I think this is working. This is a a roll of emery cloth, cut a little chunk out of it, wrapped it around there with the sanding side towards the tube, clamp the crap out of it. And hopefully that provides me enough grip to flare this thing. Definitely not flared all the way. Or hardly at all. Let's try that again. Alright. Getting some flare now. See if we got anything. I might have to shorten up. I might have too much sitting in there. It's not easy trying to do this in place either. Actually fits that fitting pretty well. Question is, will it work? Alright guys, got our tubes put back in place. I really screwed this one up somehow. I was pretty sure I had that much offset in it. When I put it on, this piece was like way down here, so I ended up having to shorten this piece. This one won't be real well retained, but to get it up and going and get it tested, I'm going to run it just like that. If I have to take it back out, so be it. I should have pulled this tube all the way out too. I didn't realize that it's got a pretty good bend in the end of it. So I'm going to use my straightening blocks here and try to push her over that way. We'll see how this works. Alrighty. Wouldn't call it a perfect fit, but it's a fit. slide my block down a little further. The tubes are kind of in the way though. Do it a different way. Use this longer one. As I'm prying, the tubes down here want to hump up, so that's just preventing that. Straighten out. There we go. That's better. That one could stand a little. So could this one. There we go. That way the hoses can run through this little pocket right here a little smoother. At least that's the idea. I still wish I could get a little more bend out of this thing. That will probably just have to do for now. I think I can get them all assembled. Sometimes you gotta get creative on these real short, tight little bends. Got my piece of stainless here, zip tied down to the hose to get it bent over to get into this coupling. Pain in the butt, but I finally got it. Got one crane to pull on another crane. So what we're trying to do here is these channels are mounted down here. It cantilevers all the way back to here, so when this thing actually tries to retract, it's going to hit down here. You can see not all those are down real great. Might have to work on that one, but even then it's still going to be a little bit tight. This is how they should look. Even that one's not great. Need to bend it down probably, but should be a good gap. They should not be hitting one another. So we're gonna pull on this one, see if we can't get her bent up. moment of truth. Pick her up just a little bit. There we go. So I did pry these down just a little bit. Start sucking her back in. I might cut these bolts right here. They hang down just a little low. I don't really like it. Let's get up here. Watch her pull back. To grease the top of this sucker, but we're gonna do this test. This one I still need to clamp down in position. That one's gonna be the highest for right now. Well above, that's good. Not really sitting in the track, right? These hoses in this thing are twisted up. I'm gonna try to untwist them. But that's the first time this thing's been sucked up in a while. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out something with this hose here. These are bigger. These are 3/8, these are 8mm, so it's kind of causing me a bit of problem. See if we can't figure something out, get rid of this twist.